Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. Jared here with another video review from Fanboys Forever. And today we'll be looking at the Mezco exclusive Holiday Gomez. Here he is in his appropriately gift-wrapped box. You can see he does have a blank tag on there in case you want to write your own name in if you're a narcissist. No, I guess it's for gift giving, so that's kind of a fun idea. As you go around, you can see that there really isn't anything else to speak of. It's just more of the ribbon. Before we look at the figure, at the bottom of the box, I actually found this envelope. So let's see what we got. Ah, yes, as I was hoping, it is a Christmas card. Happy holidays. And you can see Gomez there in Grub. Here we have Gomez. He's enjoying, apparently, the Christmas season. And right here, we have the pink skulls right there, kind of snooping in. We have the Advent Calendar boombox, which we looked at previously. If you look up here, you can see that he has made friends with the Mosquatch, which makes me happy. He has used a Baron Ben's helmet for the Christmas tree topper here. Moving on down the tree, you can see that, oh yes, we have Doc Nocturnal. And look, it's Doc Nocturnal's car. It gives me some hope that maybe, just maybe, they will do the car. I hope. I really do. There you have one of his pigeon friends. Over here you have Grub asleep. And of course one of the black skulls trying to get down the chimney. So I think that's it for all the little Easter eggs. There might have been a couple that I missed, but I think this is a really cute little card. On the back it just says, hey, Mezco Toys. Why not advertise a little bit, right, with your Christmas card? I actually think this is really cool. I don't know. It felt kind of neat getting a Christmas card in a little envelope. Good for them. Apparently, if you want to, you could always lick this thing and then seal it. It does look like there's a little layer of glue, so you could fill this out and actually give it to someone who you were maybe gifting the Holiday Gomez. That's actually a lot of thought to go into something like this, so color me impressed. Yeah, don't play with it. Shame on you. Of course, he also comes with some directions here about putting those batteries into the head. Then you get the boombox and it tells you how it opens up. It of course comes with the accessories tray, and you get an impressive array of accessories that I can't wait to look at. And don't forget about Gomez himself, so let's free him from his plastic prison. Before we set him on his display stand, let's have a look at it. You can see that it's really cool. I actually really love the art on this, and I think this is as far as they have ever gone in terms of actually doing character art on a display stand, and it looks fantastic. I wish this is the kind of thing they would do every single time. I'm way more into this than just doing like a generic logo or a symbol for some character. I would just love to see art on them, and it just looks appropriately corny and colorful. I love it. And here we have Gomez home for the holidays with Grub. We'll put him over here in the background. So just looking at Gomez himself, it is your standard Gomez figure that we're all so used to seeing at this point. However, upon closer inspection, there's definitely some Yuletide variants here to enjoy. For one thing, Gomez has this really lovely kind of emerald shade on his eyes. I think it's really cool how Mezco always goes the extra mile to make sure that there's a little something different about most of these Gomez heads. It would be really easy for them just to pack in the same ones that we've seen before, but they don't, and they always make it worth our while, so I really appreciate it. Moving on down, we can see that he's wearing a holiday sweater. It's kind of a turtleneck kind of deal, and you can see that he's got some screen printing to fill in these details on the front. I think this was a pretty good way to handle it. Mine is pretty clean. You can see that there's a little bit of kind of breakage right there, and it's the kind of thing that if you push it enough and put him in crazy positions and you stretch the thing out, I'm sure you could kind of break the screen printing and the vinyl detailing on there. I don't really want to do that. I'm really happy with the way mine turned out because I knew it could have been a disaster. So I'm going to be kind of careful with what I do. It doesn't mean that you can't move him around in all sorts of different ways, and we'll get into that in articulation. He is just wearing some kind of, looks like gray sort of jeans or just gray slacks. And he has these really cool green and red shoes that has a little Mezco logo on them. So I think that's pretty cool. Moving on to the bottom, you can see he has the giant M's on the shoes. On the back, similar story as on the front. So I think the visual is really, really nice here. When they first revealed this, I thought, okay, maybe it's a little basic. But then I started seeing all the accessories. Let's start by looking at the clothing accessories because I think you really need to see those first to understand just how cool this guy is. Look at this awesome silver puffy jacket. I mean, it's so cool. It's all reflective and everything. And it just is a really high quality piece that he comes with. It has a full-on, fully working zipper. From there, you just separate it out like this, and then you're ready to work the arms in. So usually what I do is I take the hands off first. And then, of course, I think most of us know after dealing with Mezcos for a while that this is usually the best way to go. Just put the arms straight out like that. From there, you just take the coat, and I actually really like this lining here, this soft lining. I think that's really cool. And you just bring the arms through. So not only did I put on his coat, but I couldn't help myself, and I went ahead and added his very festive red and green scabbard for his sword. This is truly Yuletide awesomeness. I mean, goodness. He's got a Christmas sweater. He has the silver puffy jacket. He has the sword. I mean, this is awesome. I just love what they did. Why does this appeal to me more than Gomez of Death? This is 10 times more what I like. I don't know if I just like goofier stuff or what, but this is as cool as it gets to me. I don't know. I will say it was a little harder to get the jacket on than I was giving it credit for. The sweater kept bunching up really bad and making it kind of too bulky up here. So I eventually had to take like a little plastic item like a sword that I had from a He-Man figure laying around and kind of thread the sweater sleeve like in through the puffy jacket sleeve, if that makes sense. So that was a little extra something I had to do. If you're more into the goofiness, he also includes this furry kind of holiday themed hat, which I really love. And here's the cool part. I kept wondering, how is this going to work with his antennae? But if you look, there's actually a couple of little holes in the thing that extends all the way through the other side here. So I'm going to try to thread the antenna through there. So by far the smartest way to do this is to actually unplug the antenna out of the head and then take the little ball joint where it unplugged at and then just thread it down through it and go like that. That is by far the easiest. Find that little opening right there and then thread it through. And so now you can plug these into the head. Seeing Gomez in this hat with this jacket with a Christmas themed samurai sword is something that I didn't know I needed in my life, but now I feel like a fool for ever thinking that I could have possibly lived without it. I mean, look at this. I know there's been a lot of looks for Gomez, and I definitely love those other looks that we've gotten. But there's something about this one that really does it for me. And not just in a funny way, but in like a legit, like Christmas warrior kind of way. So I definitely, before we got started with any of the rest of the figure, I wanted to show you what I think the actual like look is. I think this is sort of the way it's supposed to be. This is really your default look. And, you know, like I said, at first when I saw it, I thought, okay, Gomez in a sweater. All right. Then when I saw the other stuff, I mean, this is the intended purpose, I do believe. I'm also not going to spend a tremendous amount of time on articulation. I could show you the articulation without the jacket on and show you all the limits and all that, but come on. Everybody has shown off the articulation of a basic Gomez figure. Here's what he can do in the jacket. The head can move around quite a bit. Then you have the arms that can go up a really good ways. You can't bring them forward that much without twisting the jacket as you kind of work it up slowly, and you already know how that works. And then it is a double joint, and it actually still works really well, even with the puffy jacket. There's, of course, swivel in there, but you can't get too much of it with the jacket on. Of course, the hands rotate. There's a really good and effective diaphragm, so you can get really deep stuff and stuff way back like he's dodging. You can, of course, get a waist swivel. He can do the splits like nobody's business, like a crazy gymnast. He can go way up with the kicks. I mean, almost kick himself in the face. He does have a thigh swivel. He does have a double jointed knee, kick his own butt if he needs to. And there is, of course, a little ankle system down here with a hinge and a pretty good rocker, really. They've improved those quite a bit, so much so that you can get some really deep stances and stay pretty much flat-footed. So I don't think any kind of articulation is going to be a problem. Just know that the biggest hindrance with the jacket on will be going up. There really isn't a whole lot of that, but you can subtly twist the jacket and work the arms up. So that's all I'm going to say about articulation. I honestly think a lot of the fun of this guy is really more in the accessories and the clothing items. So let's keep looking at those. Next up, we have the cool boombox. And of course, in the background, you can actually see he's kind of standing on that boombox packaging that goes with the Advent calendar. Now, I kind of wonder if once upon a time, if maybe this wasn't supposed to be a massive Christmas set, but because of some circumstances, maybe about the shipping situation, it got separated into 2 sets, because I sort of think all this stuff was meant to go together. Because, I mean, come on, this is literally the Advent calendar, like packaging. And you can open this up. So there's a handle that you get out right here at the top, just like on the packaging that you can hold it by. Then you just open it right there. And you can see that there's some little places for accessories inside, and there's some padding in there. Let's go ahead and find the accessories that go in here. Inside the box, you get what the instructions refer to as a pea shooter. It has a little green handle, tiny little barrels right there, and is pretty much exactly what it says it is, even with a red trigger. So that's cool looking. There is a spot inside the case for that thing. So you just put it right there, and it holds in fairly snug. Next item on the list is this tiny little martini. So once again, just put that right in there. There's a special spot in the case for it. And of course, you want to turn it to where it's in there really good and snug. And there's even room for Roach and Son vodka. So we'll put that right in there. Don't drink, Dad. All right, so once you get them all in there, close it up. And there we go. The boombox is not only a boombox, but it is also storage. Yes, we know that Gomez is utterly famous in the world of party hosting, and you can see that he has this really cool frying pan so that he can get ready for all of the holidays. And yes, he even comes with a spatula, just what all fans had demanded Gomez come with. I don't know. It's funny. I guess he's getting ready for the holidays. You can't take it too seriously. This figure is too silly? Is that what I just heard you say? No, it's not. Check it out. He has a Kiss the Roach apron so that while he's cooking, he can be ready for even the most discerning party guest. So how hilarious is this? And of course, Gomez comes with an insane number of hands to recreate everything from pointing to lewd gestures to open hands to you name it. Most fans have seen Mezco hands a billion times before, but the one I care about is his sword holding hand. This is of course to see how his new Christmas katana will look. And have you ever seen anything more Christmassy in your whole life than a giant humanoid roach in a silver puffy jacket and a silly wintertime hat holding a Christmas themed katana? I haven't. Okay, I have, but still. And we can't forget about the side character that comes in the set. That's right, it's Little Grub. He's right here ready to celebrate with his dad, but Grub is around. He has a flocked little vest here, which is nice. It's a little sweater or something. The arms go up and down and the legs move. This is almost exactly like the Grub that we saw in the Advent calendar, only this one has green eyes and this one has black eyes. It's a shame that this one, a little bit of the flocking kind of missed, but it's okay because I can switch the heads out and I can use the other one if I absolutely have to. It's not a big deal though. So we do get a couple of gifts. I know this keeps getting more surreal that this even happened. You get this. This is to Grub. Happy holidays from Gomez. So Grub is all excited. He can't wait to see what's in the box. Open up the box. And it literally is a box. It's not like a plastic recreation of a box. And look at that. He gets his own little holiday katana. He can now emulate the violent ways of his hero, Gomez. Not only did he get a gift, but Grub has not slacked either. This is for Gomez, even though it doesn't say it's from Grub. So maybe it's just from, I don't know. We're going to say it's from Doc Nocturnal. All right, there he is. Maybe Nosferatu got it for him. I mean, you never know. Then again, maybe Mosquatch, because apparently they're buddies now. I don't know, but it's funny. Okay, let's open it up. What do we got here? We do get a little plasticky tray. Okay, that's not the gift. Check this out. It is a holiday themed hoverboard. You can see this strangely pretty winter scene right here. And of course, we know Gomez is always well equipped to ride a hoverboard, and he has magnetic feet so he can easily jam around town on this thing. I'm really going to enjoy coming up with crazy poses just to see what's possible, as of course you can have him with just one foot. The magnet is strong enough so you can get crazy stuff like this as he's almost coming off the board attacking. It's just going to be really fun. And if you're going to do those kinds of poses, of course he does come with a transparent cradle. As you can see, it just plugs right in. And I would suggest not using the cradle directly on the puffy coat, it seems kind of fragile. I would also suggest not using the cradle clasp on the screen printed portion of the sweater, as it already seems fragile enough. And of course, that's just a lot of fun. Let's see how well that magnet will support the hoverboard. Yep, it will support it. It will kind of lean down like that. So you can get creative about how you want that to leverage out. You can, of course, always get 2 feet on there, and that is enough. Even with 1 foot partially coming off of it, you can have the hoverboard on there, and it works pretty well. You just have to make sure he's flat-footed enough for the magnets to catch. I'm sure there's probably a way to supercharge these magnets a little bit to make it a little more sturdy, but you can see what I'm talking about with all these fun little poses you can get using that. You can even have him go way back like that. It's really just a lot of ridiculous fun. Keep in mind, he does have a plastic bag for all of the little accessories. And what has become a tradition for Gomez figures, he does come with an alternate head. The main difference in this head is that the eyes light up. Of course, it's become kind of a maddening thing that we always have to use these tiny little batteries and get them installed, but honestly, I've got pretty good at it. Used to, I was really stressed out by it. And this is just a guide for you to make sure it doesn't stress you out, because I wish someone had been a little bit more straightforward about this when I first did it. All you got to do is remove this housing. You can see that there's 2 tiny little metal housings for the batteries. Now, here's where you can get confused, and it's really easy to. There are 2 sides to each one of these little watch cell batteries. There's one side that's flat, like this, that you see with the writing on it. On the other side, it has this circle. This is not the side you want facing up. You want the side that's flat with the writing facing up. This is very important. You can see that in this side it's open, but on the other side there's a little metal tab. Go with this open side that's facing us. Then very simply, you just slide the battery with that writing in the flat side facing up. Slide it in until it's pretty well in there. Of course, you do the same thing on the other side. You go from the side of the housing that doesn't have anything blocking it on the outside here, and look, it's already turning on. After that, you simply just attach it back to where it was. You have this little button back here. All you have to do is press it. And for the very first time with one of these, you press it once and the lights stay on, at least for a little while. Press it again, it turns off. Before this, you had to hold the thing down for as long as you wanted the eyes to be lit up. I'm telling you, this is actually a big improvement. See that? They have finally fixed this. So I'm really glad that they listened to customer feedback on this. It's just something cool if you want them to look neat in low light. It's hard to tell, but let me turn off my studio light. You can see in darker lighting conditions, it's much more obvious that the eyes are actually very glowy. So I think that's pretty neat. It's really amazing just how many options we've looked at for this guy, and I've loved all of them. This is an hilariously awesome Gomez, and I've absolutely loved it. I've shown you everything that he comes with. But one thing we've not talked about is how can he integrate with the advent calendar accessories. So let's just look at a few of those. Of course, the main event on the advent calendar was Cousin Eddie himself. These guys look great together. This is as if Cousin Eddie joins him on some kind of insane adventure. And you can see that he is loaded for bear, and it's just hilarious. The visual here is just fantastic. Let's start with giving Gomez maybe a set of the headphones from the advent calendar. Here's the green and red ones. I can tell you right now that these things don't really stretch well enough to go over where Gomez's ears would be, but instead I think they're more meant for you to just put them around his neck like so, and then plug the head in. And sure enough, something so ridiculously simple can add just a little bit of visual variety and help him look even cooler. What about the cool little Santa hat that he came with? Well, if you look, this Santa hat is definitely meant not just for other 112 collective figures, but for Gomez, because it has 2 holes in it. That means that we can, of course, guide the antenna through. Now, just like before, I will tell you that the easiest way to do this is to take the antenna out first. Next, what you want to do is take the 2 guide holes right here and just put them in already. And same for the other side. And now, your Gomez is truly in a festive holiday spirit. Look at that. And just like we said on the Advent Calendar review, this is able to be posed around. So I think it looks really cool. You can get it doing all kinds of crazy things thanks to that bendy wire in the back. So I think it looks really nice. What about the green Christmassy Gomez head that came in the set? Well, let's try it on as well. And it works like a charm. It almost seems a little more devious than the regular Gomez head. There's something about it. I guess it's the big red eyes, but I think it looks great. It especially goes well with the shoes and the cord on the scabbard. I think that all of that looks really good. What about the cool little black scarf? Once again, it's another killer look. I could get it looking a lot more authentic. This was just a quick trial run, but I mean, come on, that looks really cool. You get Gomez all geared up just right. You got him in the posing cradle. You have all the accessories with him. And before long, it's Christmas. Everybody's having a good time. And you can see just getting the frying pan involved along with all the Christmas accoutrement. It's as cool as you can get. I love it. This is comedy done right in action figure form. Well, friends, I certainly hope you've enjoyed my review of the completely ludicrous, completely awesome Holiday Gomez. If I could encourage you to go with one or the other between Holiday Gomez or the Advent Calendar, I would have to go with Holiday Gomez. Of course, I love all the fun that you get in the Advent Calendar, and of course the Cousin Eddie figure, which is hilarious. He doesn't have the same cool factor to go with the hilariousness that Holiday Gomez does. It's another slam dunk for Mezco. I think they've done an incredible job with this guy. It's taken a few releases for me to really get that Gomez is supposed to be pure action comedy from Mezco, and I think this really solidifies him as being in that vein. It's a really hard thing to do in a movie. It's a hard thing to do in a show. It's probably even harder to do in toy form, and I think they've done it. From the crazy cool touches like the actual little gift box that has the tag on it that you could customize, to a legit Christmas card inside of it, to gifts for your figures, to all the crazy holiday accessories. It is just nuts what they were able to pull off, and I have really enjoyed having a look at it. I really hope that this isn't the last time that Mezco ventures into holiday territory. I think this turned out really, really well, even if shipping delays almost threatened to derail the whole idea. I hope every single person that ordered is able to get it in time before Christmas. Thankfully, I was able to get it in with plenty of time left to spare. For as funny as it is, there's an element to it that's just really cool, that I could actually see Gomez taking on a bunch of guys in this getup with the frying pan, with the Christmas katana. It just works for me, and I think it turned out beautifully. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Am I way off base? Is this just so ridiculous that you can't get behind it? Or are you like me and you just love seeing them push the boundaries of what people expect, pushing the boundaries of what's even acceptable in the action figure collector's market? I just love it when they push, and they have certainly pushed with this release. Well, friends, of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all the other cool content we have coming. Of course, we're going to have a few other Christmas videos, we hope, and we hope that you guys will stick around and join us for those. If you feel we deserve it, we'd appreciate a like. Of course, that helps the YouTube algorithm to suggest the video to other folks so that the channel can grow. And as always, God bless you and yours, and I'll see you on Fanboys Forever. Fanboy out, and Merry Christmas.